Mr. Fortenberry for 30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when I learned of the death of my very close friend, Dr. James Billington, the 13th Librarian of Congress, it hit me pretty hard. That was about 3 weeks ago. Dr. Billington's passion for the institution that he led for 28 years, his scholarly nature, and his gentlemanly demeanor were a tremendous inspiration to me and to so many members of this body. I so admired him. And first, I want to extend my heartfelt condolences to Marjorie and the entire family. May God grant him peace. During his 28 years at the Library of Congress, from 1987 to 2015, Dr. James Billington led the institution in a remarkable period of accomplishment. He once referred to the Library of Congress, and I like to call it America's library. He once said, "It is the largest, most wide-ranging collection of world-recorded knowledge ever assembled on our planet." And he strove mightily to preserve the nation's cultural patrimony and open the library's collections to the American people and to people around the world. Dr. Billington doubled the size of the library's holdings to more than 160 million items, including books and manuscripts, newspapers, maps, music, and film recordings, prints, and photographs. Simultaneously, he also created a massive online library, digitizing materials so that the historic and cultural resources of the library, the historic and cultural resources of the world, I might add, which were once only available to persons visiting the library, now would be instantaneously accessible to anywhere, to anyone, anywhere in the world. Mr. Speaker, Dr. Billington also looked to the future, but he never lost sight of our connectedness and the treasures of the past. During his tenure, he acquired the only copy of the 1507 Valtsimilla world map, which is known as America's birth certificate. He reconstructed Thomas Jefferson's original library for permanent display, and he obtained the papers of hundreds of great Americans, ranging from jurist Thurgood Marshall to the songwriter Irving Berlin. Mr. Speaker, I can't emphasize enough, he was a remarkable man, a Russian scholar with a brilliant mind. He accompanied 10 congressional delegations to Russia and the former Soviet Union. In 1988, he was invited to join President Reagan in traveling to the Soviet summit in Moscow. Now, Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of the House Legislative Branch Appropriations Subcommittee, and now I'm its chairman. And I got to know Dr. Billington from his regular appearances before the Appropriations Committee to talk about the budget. I often enjoyed the many events he held at the library, the dialogues, the displays, the exhibits that he organized to engage members of Congress in their library. Dr. Billington went out of his way to accommodate our needs. He once graciously hosted a small British delegation on my behalf that included a member of the royal family and a member of the House of Lords, both with an interest in Charles Carroll, one of the original signers of the Declaration of Independence. And despite the government shutdown at that moment a little while back, which forced us to move the forum into this building, the Capitol, Dr. Billington ensured that the library's prized displays were in place and were on time, and that he was present to deliver welcoming remarks. With his retirement, leaving the great institution he served faithfully for nearly 3 decades, Dr. Billington left an indelible imprint, having created programs and services that continue to benefit the Congress and the American public. In fact, Mr. Speaker, before he retired, in a conversation with his wife, Marjorie, and I knew his retirement was imminent, I told him, I said, "Dr. Billington, now it's time to write 2 books. The book that you want to write that's in your mind, and the book for the rest of us to read, to make accessible your life story and your brilliant insights." Long live his memory. Again, Mr. Speaker, let me say, may God comfort Dr. Billington's wife, Marjorie, and their 4 children and 12 grandchildren in their moment of grief. I extend to them, as well as the entire Library of Congress community, my heartfelt condolences. Jim Billington, well done, my friend. Well done, good and faithful public servant. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Does the gentleman have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
The question is on the motion to adjourn. Those in favor say aye.